Alright, hello guys, this is Team of Weirdest, and today I have something really exciting. At least to me it's exciting. I've got the Squatch LORE on your right and the Pound RUFUS on your left. We have two very comparable bags. As you can see, they stand almost as tall as each other. They stand almost as wide as one another. This video is going to get some hate or not. The point of this video is really for consumers who have money to really afford the Pound and money to afford the Squatch. Do they have money to afford both? Probably not. Do they want both? Maybe not. Maybe they have money for both, but they don't want both. Maybe they're using their money wisely, but they would just want to pick one bag, and I figured I'd do a comparison. So let's get started. Okay, the Pound RUFUS is 3.2 pounds. Let's go ahead and take a look at the Squatch here. Well, the Squatch LORE, 3.2 pounds on this guy right here. They're both 3.2 pounds. I'm actually impressed. Identical weight. So that's a good start so far. Let's go ahead and measure these. I'm going to go ahead and measure the back here from the bottom to the back. This is sitting at 17 inches tall. Once again, the bottom here to the top. This is sitting at also 17 inches tall. This is actually quite interesting so far, I gotta tell you. All right, we're gonna measure the bottom, like so. Across at the bottom like this. By the way, I've had probably 50 rounds with the RUFUS since I got it. This is 17. Hold on, sorry. Seam to seam. Gotta measure seam to seam. This is 14 3/4. 3/4 wide. We can call it 14.5 if you guys want to. I'm gonna go the same thing again. This has been 2 rounds. We're gonna go seam to seam, just like on the RUFUS. Okay, so this is 13.5. So it's about an inch narrow compared to the RUFUS, the width. I just measured the biggest, like the widest part of the bag, which is the bottom. All right, so far it's almost identical. We're gonna measure the main compartment opening here. So we're gonna go middle of the zipper to the middle of the zipper. Exactly 7 inches wide. Same thing, middle zipper to middle of the zipper. I mean, I guess I could have done the outside zipper as well. This is 7 3/4. 7 and let's see, looks like 7 7/8. 7 and roughly 7.5 inches wide. So let's see, that's roughly 7, just a little bit of over 7.5. This was again 7 inches. So this is slightly, the opening on the main compartment is slightly wider. So there you have it. Heading back to the front here, we have the putter pocket. Much different on the RUFUS than the LORE. The RUFUS has an opening like this. It's just one zipper that goes across. Now the zipper on the RUFUS does go all the way down. If you guys want to learn about that, look in my detailed review of the RUFUS. The pocket inside, it's just a pouch. However, it does have a strap that goes underneath this pouch. I will try to show it to you by opening this up here. So you'll see the strap right here. There is a, I don't know if you guys can see it, the strap right with my thumb. That strap is adjusted by the location of this little clip right here. And this little clip allows for the pocket to go up and down like this, and that will expose your putter above the pocket at whichever height you would like. So it can go as high as this or as low as flush in there so that you can close down this zipper like so. So that's the putter pocket. On the RUFUS, right beneath that putter pocket, you got pencil holders, and you have a mini holder. So that's the Rufus. The Lore, on the other hand, is a little different. It has one zipper, except it's got two zipper pulls. Does not go across. It goes to the sides and back, like so. And then this flap goes up like this, and that exposes the whole entire pocket. This little piece of fabric is not adjustable like this. However, the functionality is still the same in that this has a Velcro here. This Velcro attaches to it. You put this flap down, and now you have access to your putters or your most used disc right on top without having to worry about the discs being up above this line right here for you to access it, unlike the Rufus. Okay? So far as you can see, this pocket is much bigger than the Rufus. And the Rufus, this flap, you can fold it back like this. It's sewn in a way where you can fold the flap back, and that way you can put the disc in without having to fight this flap to get your disc out. So it does function like that. That's the putter pouch. Moving on from there, sorry, let's go back to here. The main compartment, we talked about this. The flap on the Rufus, this particular one's a ballistic nylon, which is 1680 Cordura nylon material. It's very thick. This flap does not have a piece of foam inside of it. It's just the fabric with a 200D nylon inner liner. Has a Velcro here. It attaches to a Velcro that's on the underside of this putter pocket. And then you just have a cavernous opening for your main compartment for your discs. Very similar on the Lore right here, except the Lore, the flap itself is 500D Cordura, where this is 1680. Most Rufus bags comes with a 500D Cordura on top and a 1000D Cordura on the bottom. This particular bag just happens to be a special, like a limited run of the 1680D. So, like I said, it's going to be a very similar layout as this bag. Back to the Lore here. The Lore itself has a little bit of foam in here, but it's flexible foam. And then it also has a 200D inner liner similar to the Rufus. The only difference with this flap is that it does have a little pocket here, and this is where you would house your mini marker. So the Rufus is right in front of the putter pocket, whereas the Lore is right on the flap of the main compartment opening. So once again, it has a I thought it had a Velcro piece. Does not have a Velcro piece. Okay, I did not know that. So good to know. This flap right here does not have a Velcro piece like the Rufus does. So this just folds in like this, and then your discs would just hold it up. So that's the Lore. The one thing that the Lore has that's a little different from this pound Rufus, most pound bags have a compartment in the back here to hold a 2-liter water bag. The Rufus, they have moved that to the side on this elastic here, and it goes all the way, like look at my hand, it goes all the way to the bottom right here, and this is where you would house your 2-liter water bladder. The Lore, on the other hand, still keeps the compartment for that bladder just like the Legend, its bigger brother. And that compartment is housed behind this putter pocket flap. There is a zipper right here, and you open the zipper and you put your bladder in here, and it goes all the way down just like the Legend. The Rufus's bigger brother is the Octothorpe and Octo Hall. They have that same setup as the Lore and the Legend, but not on the Rufus. Okay, so that's on the bottom. Moving down from there, this is still 500D with the Squatch logo on the bottom. The Rufus has this would-be 500D Cordura wells, but no logo, and it runs all the way across. On the Squatch has a 500D, and it runs all the way across, just like the Rufus. I will tell you, on a normal Rufus, this would not be the 1680. It would actually be the 1000D Cordura, which is what the Lore has. Actually, the Lore does have the 1000D on this panel, and this panel, and all the way at the bottom, just like the Rufus would have, is also a 1000D Cordura. So wherever the blue parts are, would be the 1000D Cordura on a non-ballistic nylon pound bag. All right. Moving to the side. We go to the side here. The lure itself does have these two pockets, and the way the lure works is that this flap comes up and there is a pocket right here, a piece of fabric that separates the outer compartment and the inner compartment. It also acts as a pocket, so it can house the cooler, so you can move the cooler to this side, or you can put your towels. You can also put this flap down like this, and you can put your umbrella, your stool right in here, and your water bottles in this pocket. And it has this Velcro piece that Velcros here on the inside where the liner is to keep it down. If you want to put discs in here, it will fit discs in here as well. And you can put that down and secure it with these zippers down to close it and keep your discs dry, because these are water resistant zippers. The inside here has an elastic pocket, and you can put your wallets, your keys in there, or your phone. And that's pretty much the pocket, the side pocket. And it's identical on the other side. The other side right now, I have the cooler, so you can see what it looks like with the cooler in there right now. And it kind of closes down like that. This particular side of the lure also has two D-rings here. And these two D-rings are so that if you were to decide to put a stool or umbrella in here, you use these D-rings to put a ball, forgot the name of it right now, but you can actually use this to put a strap through, loop it through here, and then loop around the umbrella or the stool. So that's the only difference between from this side to this side. This side doesn't have those two D-rings. Okay. As far as the RUFUS goes, it is asymmetrical. However, there's new RUFUS that came out, Coralline signature bags. Both sides are symmetrical, and then there are deluxe RUFUS that have both sides symmetrical. But a normal RUFUS, as far as I can tell right now, if you get one of their other old deluxe models, or if you get a custom one, it's not asymmetrical. What I mean by that is the RUFUS zippers go all the way down here and all the way down here, and then once you open it up, you have an elasticated pocket on this side that only goes down to here and it stops. Whereas if you remember earlier, the other side, it does not zip all the way down, and it does not open all the way down, and this pocket goes all the way to the bottom of the bag. It's got these elasticated parts here to hold your umbrella or your stool, and then you would zip it back up and it would kind of hold in place just like that. This side, the reason why this side goes down like this is because you can actually take this flap and fold it within itself, onto itself, inside, and then you can put this pocket in like this, and that's how the bag would look. So it's asymmetrical, as you can see. The new deluxe ones and the new Coralline ones are not asymmetrical. Both sides can fold down just like this side. So that's the difference between the RUFUS side pockets and the LORE side pockets. They function a little different. I do like that the RUFUS comes with this cooler because it does have a divider and it helps hold the water bottles. I'm kind of working with this bag to figure out how to do that. I'm thinking about ordering one of these from Pound and then put it in this bag so I can have something to hold. But Squatch, if I have one recommendation or one request, please make something like this for your new LORE bags. It would be awesome. All right, moving on from there. From the side pockets, on the RUFUS, the side of the pocket that doesn't fold down, it has this extra pocket on the outside with the zipper. It's a pretty good size. You can fit your phone in there if you wanted to. And so both bags could technically house a water bladder if you wanted to. I can't see what I'm doing, so I'm gonna leave it alone. So yeah, that's what it looks like on both sides. If you go to the back, the straps are similar, I believe. So from just feeling this with my right hand, I'm going to try to use the same hand. The straps on the Pound does have just probably a millimeter or two more thickness than the LORE. But this is by no means any slouch. This is better than other manufacturer straps that I've used. The Pound itself, it's got a sternum strap, so does the LORE. This one, Squatch said this is deployable. What that means is that it can fold down flat like this. Pound, not really. Pound's always, the straps are always kind of hanging like deployed like this. See? It's always in this position. I think they even come like this out of the bag. Whereas if I were to show you the Lore, I don't know if you can see it with the black, but you see how this is sitting up like this? This is not sitting up like that. It's just flat, folds down. However, if you take the strap and you pull it up, it's called in the deploy position. And you can see it's kind of hanging up. I don't know if you can see that, just like the RUFUS. So that's something that's pretty neat. The straps on the Lore are adjustable. Previous models of the older Legend, they were not, removable. They were not removable. The Pound bags, as far as I know, since I've been ordering them since probably 2019, they've always been removable. They use 2 snap buttons on each strap. Whereas this, there is a buckle, a specialized, I guess, I think they call it Duraflex buckle that goes on here. It takes a little bit to take it off, so I'm not going to show you here. But these straps are removable, so you can replace them with new straps. I do like this this particular Drew Gibson one because it's just all black, so it's easy to replace it. And then moving down from there, we have a nice 3D mesh material, very similar to the RUFUS here. They both are very similar. The RUFUS at the bottom does have this 1000D Cordura fabric that comes up and kind of like hangs, like wraps up a little bit. I believe with the Legend 1.0, that was one of the things that the Legend had an issue with, was because this fabric didn't come up and wrap up like this. With this particular bag and all of the new Legend bags, that they have 500D Cordura fabric that wraps up with an extra padding right here. And also, you can probably put something right here. Extra padding right here for your lower back, which is a nice touch. And I love this fabric that folds up right here. That's perfect. It helps keep the bag last longer. So I think that's a good sign. So yeah. So as you can see, the bags are very similar. All right, I have the bags loaded up. Each one of them has a towel. I don't have a stool for each bag. I do have an umbrella and a retriever in the Lore. Each one of them has a 32-ounce bottle on their respective cup holders side. And I will switch this stool to the Lore in a moment after I go over the disc capacity and all that jazz. So the Lore right now is fitted with my with all the stuff I normally use during my rounds, because it currently is my main bag. The RUFUS, I've put 50 rounds in the RUFUS so far. So I am familiar with its nuances and what works for me and what doesn't work for me. So I'll go over that in a moment. But to start off, we have 4 putters on the top of the RUFUS in the putter pouch. We have 16 in the main compartment. These discs are just filler discs. I obviously don't have this as my main bag. So there are 6 mid-range, a couple of fairway drivers, and the rest are distance drivers. So 16 plus 4 is 20. The Lore has 5 putters at the top. Again, this is the bag. This is all the discs I normally use during a round. So there's 5 up here and there's 16 down here. I mean, we can go ahead and count just to make sure that I'm not crazy here. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, and 16. Do that again over here. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. In the Lore, the main compartment, the top compartment is all putters. I only keep putters up here. I don't keep mid-range or fairway drivers in my putter pockets in any bag. There are 1, 2, 3, 4 mid-range, 1 putter, and these are all fairway drivers. And there's only 3 distance drivers in the Lore. So you can see, if you carry less mid-range and you don't put your putters in the main compartment, you can definitely carry more disc in the main compartment. This putter in here I only use for certain shots. That's why it sits in the main compartment. And my more accessible putters are up here. So 21 on the Lore, 20 on the RUFUS. If you look at the Lore right here, there's 5. It's very loose. So technically you can fit 6 in here if you want. So 21, 22, and the majority of these are putters, at least in my bag setup. The RUFUS, when I first got it, I was only able to fit 3 putters up here. And you can see it's loose now. Like, you can, with 3 putters, I can pull these in and out just very easily. And then now I can add a fourth one, and pulling it out does take a little bit of work, but not as bad as when I first received it. So it has a break-in period for this putter pocket up here because of the way it's designed. So just know that. Lower, there's no break-in period for the putter pocket. I mean, it's just, there's 5 in here and they just come in. It's just one giant pocket at the top and you just kind of drop them in. You don't really have to fight with them. So I think if you had 6, it might be a little bit better. I don't know. But regardless, that's the putter pocket. So far, I think I prefer the putter pocket on this Lore more than the Rufus. The main compartment, even though the opening is a little bit wider on the Lore, it still fits 16 in the main. We're gonna go over on how to pull the disc in and out and how challenging it is. So here's the middle of the Lore. If I pull it out, put it in. Pull it out, put it in. Sorry for those who have OCD. I'm just pulling it out and putting it in, just so you can see. So that's the middle. Works out pretty well. I'm gonna try the end now. So pulling out on the ends, there's always this zipper that gets caught in most bags here. But it does come out. You do fight with it. Put it in, you do fight with it. But do it on the other end. There. So there's a little bit of fight, but you know, you kind of get to know your bag and you kind of know, like, you know, you can just carry less than 16 if you don't want to deal with the pulling out in the end here. The Lore, pulling out the middle. If I was to remove this mini marker here, it comes out really smooth. Like, it comes out easy from the middle. Slightly smoother than the Rufus, pulling out the middle. The end, it struggles just like anything else. But putting it back in is a little bit, I think, might be a little bit easier than the Rufus. Just a little bit. But there you go. So I think there's less of a fight taking it in and out on the Lore on the end. Just a tad bit than the Rufus. If I put this mini marker here and I use this pocket for the mini marker, a little bit more of a struggle, but not bad. Not really bad, in my opinion. So there you go. There's the example of how discs come in and out of the bag. The side pockets. On the Rufus, it has this insulated cooler with a divider. So this 32-ounce bottle gets held in place. It doesn't move anywhere. It's nice. It has 2 of those, so you can actually adjust it to hold both. 2 different ones. I can't really fit it right now. I'm not sure why. Let me see here. I was able to do it earlier. There you go. So it can fit in towards the back of the bag or towards the front of the bag, but it does not move. So that insulated cooler is nice. On the Lore, it's a little different. It's got this loop right here. This loop, they recommend to use a ball bungee to hold things in place, like your umbrella or your retriever in this case. But if I was to remove these, you can see the bottle kind of goes back and forth. This is, I think, is an opportunity for Squatch to make something for this pocket so that it can hold this bottle in place if somebody only carries 1 bottle versus 2. Can you fit 2 of these 30-ounce bottles? And these are not small, by the way. They're good size amount of water, fluids. Yes, you can definitely put 2 30-ounce in there. And the pocket is deep. It's good. But not everybody carries 2 of these at a time. I usually only carry 1 during my rounds. So there you go. That's my 2 cents on the pockets. I prefer the pocket on the Rufus because it's got this insulated thing, and it's nice. In order to use this pocket to carry both retrievers, umbrella, and a water bottle, you're going to use this D-ring right here. You're going to loop your bungee cord. I don't have one, so I'm just using this as an example. You're going to do that to keep this in place so that when you take your bottle in and out, this is not falling over. See? And that way you can put your thing back in. But I think an insulated cooler, I know it comes with a cooler. That's really meant for ice and little cans. But I think an insulated cooler, just to hold something in place, because everybody uses a water bottle. Unless you have a water bladder, then you don't have to worry about this. Other thing, you can see the Rufus is asymmetrical. There are symmetrical versions of this out now, so you can go ahead and get those if you don't like this asymmetrical. For me, what I do is I just take this little flap, I just lift it up like this, and now I have a symmetrical bag. And then when I need a drink, I just do this and grab the drink and pull it out. that's what I do. You know, not everybody likes it that way, but that's what I do to take care of my OCD. All right, the Rufus does not have a way of keeping the stool and everything on one side like the Lore does. By the way, the Lore, this pouch, you can put all this on the other side. The only difference is that if you're going to carry a stool or umbrella, only this side has the D-ring, the other side does not, for you to put a bungee cord here. Okay, the Rufus. One of my favorite things about the Rufus, when it comes to carrying things like this, you can see how this is not tipping over. It's pretty solid. The reason for that is because inside the Rufus, there's an elasticated strap here. This elasticated strap helps hold whatever you put in this pocket in place. Similar setup as a Lore. It's only on one side of the pocket. It's on this side. It's away from your right hand picking up your strap. That's how it's set up in the Lore as well. Only difference is the Lore does not have the elasticated strap. It has a D-ring, so that, I'm going to show you an example. If I was to use this, and it's not going to rain, I'm not playing near water, and I'm going to use it to hold this stool, I'm going to go ahead and take it out. I'm going to put it in here. And you see how it's flopping around in the Lore? I'm going to go and take a bungee cord, ball bungee preferably, and I'm going to strap it like that, and that's how it holds in place, and now it won't move. So yeah, so that's a solution that Lore came up with to hold umbrella, stool, anything that's taller than the bag. This is how it's done. On the Rufus, I just put it in the sleeve, and if it's not taller than the bag, I really don't have to worry about this. It just goes in and it stays in place because of this elasticated pocket that's on the inside. Same thing with a retriever. The retriever, I can actually feed it through this elasticated strap and it holds it in place. It's a nice setup. I prefer this setup, I think, over the Lore. But you get one thing, you don't, you lose another, sort of. But that's the two setup that I wanted to show you guys. And then the Rufus, you kind of zip it up and it looks nice and neat like this. Whereas the Lore, once you have it together, you kind of see it sticking out a little bit. But that's how they designed it, and that's how the Rufus was designed. So there's two different things there. Okay, that's pretty much it. I don't think there's anything else I need to talk about. I think those are the functions that people use the most. Umbrella holder, stool holder, this obviously. The towel is hooked up to the D-ring on the strap here of the Rufus. The towel on the Lore is hooked up to the D-ring. It's not on the strap of the Rufus, but it's on top, so the Lore. Not on the strap of the Lore, but it's on top of, next to the putter pouch of the Lore. So they do have D-rings. Rufus has like 4 D-rings, have plenty of D-rings. The Lore has 4 D-rings, Rufus only has 2. I'm not sure if people care about that or not, but that's pretty much it. Oh, I do want to point out, I forgot to point this out. The straps, the Lore has these Duralex or Duraflex, I think it's called, buckles that helps make it removable, whereas the Rufus has snap buttons. You can see, so these just come off. There's one thing I want to point out. Some pound bags, and I've had enough pound bags to have this sort of issue, if you want to call it. When you first get some new pound bags, when you pick this up, if this strap is not adjusted properly, the one that's sitting on top here, the strap up top here, if it's not adjusted properly and you don't snap this on all the way, the snap will come off. And you have to keep adjusting it until the bag breaks in. It's really an odd thing to deal with, but that's one of the things I dealt with some of my pound bags. I had a problem with one Octothorpe and then this Rufus. Other pound bags I didn't have a problem with, not the Carlton, not the Octahall. But for some reason, sometimes it happens with the Rufus. Not so much on the Lore, because this is a pain to get it off. It's got 2 little end hooks that you have to unhook for it to even come remotely off. So that's something to keep in mind. If you don't want to deal with snap buttons, then maybe go with the Lore. Yeah, that's all I had to say. And most importantly, I wanted to more showcase the bottle holder on the Rufus versus the Lore, and how to deal with carrying things that are this tall on the Lore. So if you can see, if I don't have a strap on it, it's gonna stick out. So I do need to get like a bungee like this to get it like that. And then once I do that, it holds it in place. But I think it's more versatile because then on the Rufus, I mean the Rufus I guess is versatile too, because if you just don't use this and you take these out, then you have a whole entire pocket and a bladder for yourself. That's the other thing. The Rufus has a bladder pouch here. If you use this as a bladder pouch, there's really no room for you to put these. You kind of have to like finagle it on this side where the cup holder is. Whereas this, the bladder goes in the back of the bag, so it doesn't really take room on the side, out of the side pockets. Okay, yeah. That's all I had for you today. Hope you guys enjoyed the bag. And if you have any questions or comments, please leave it below. I will get to you as soon as I can. Hopefully this helps. I know that these two bags are hot in the market right now, the Rufus and the Lore. This is like the perfect size for a lot of people, kids, women, small statured people in general. I know I love it because each one holds 20 discs. Each bag holds 20 discs. I can probably squeeze 21 in this bag if I don't carry, because I normally don't carry this many mid-range. But regardless, they're both great bags. They're both super lightweight. And they both weigh the same at dry, 3.2 pounds. You can't go wrong with that. So the only difference in weight would be how much you carry, and that's on your based on your personal preference. Overall, they're both great bags. I don't want to talk about price in this video because I think price is, there's a reason why this bag is pricier than this bag, even though they do the same function. Like at the end of the day, they both function the same or similar. Obviously there's some nuances that people prefer over the other, and then you're just paying extra. They both have lifetime warranty. Like, that's the thing about these bags. The difference is that the way lifetime warranty works with the Squatch is that you tell them there's a problem. If there's a manufacturer defect, they just send you a new bag. Like, you get a new bag right away. Whereas the Rufus, if the way their lifetime warranty works, if it's a manufacturer defect, you send the bag back to them, they fix it, and then they repair it and they send it back to you. So you kind of go without a bag for a little bit. Because they don't have just a bag ready to send you. They're not just going to send you a replacement bag, because especially if it's a custom bag and it's your specific colors, they're going to fix that bag and only that bag. They can't just make another one like overnight and send it to you. It doesn't work like that. So that's something to think about if you are concerned about how lifetime warranty works and how quickly they replace bags and quickly they get the bag back to you. So yeah, I think that's it. Both of these bags do have rain flies out available. Many different colors on the Rufus. There's also an array of colors on the Lore as well. They are set colors. They're not custom colors. And then they have, a lot of their pros have a $20 discount for shipping. Not on the Tour Series ones, which is the Signature Series ones, which this happens to be a Drew Gibson one. So the $20 discount will not work on this bag. Rufus, there are no discounts. Like, even their ambassadors who own their bags, you can't put their name in and get a discount. That's not how it works with Pound. It's a little different. So that's something to think about if you want to think about it, if you want to use that as a way of making a decision. All right, I hope this helps. Again, there was a lot. I wanted to get this out because I know it's coming to the end of the summer and a lot of people were really looking forward to the Lore. They were looking forward to the Rufus, and now the Lore is out, and this is like half the price, if not more, than a Rufus. So a lot of people are looking forward to it. It's a great bag. 500 Cordura, 1000 Cordura. And, you know, there's some little nuances that make it different, meaning that there's a reason why this price point is a lot lower than a Pound Rufus, but I'll go over that in a separate video. But quick comparison, I'm excited. I'm excited to use this bag. Hopefully maybe for the rest of the summer. I do like to keep my Pounds as clean as possible because they are expensive. But this Drew, it's been a blast using it for the last 2 days. All right, I'll see you guys later. I'll stop rambling. Any questions, comments, leave it below, and I will get to you as soon as I can. Thanks, guys. Bye.